Coach, what is it about Lamar, particularly this year, that has enabled him to operate at a high rate of consistency, whether it is a starter or coming off the bench?
Well, he's shooting 58%, Jim, and that's one of the top shooters in the league, and he doesn't get a lot of. He has inside game, no doubt about it, but he's taking a lot of jump shots. 3-point shooting's been great. We were very mystified in the San Antonio game that he wasn't, aggressive offensively. And so, after the game, we talked a lot to Lamar about, staying aggressive because of what he's been able to do to their team, taking Blair out of the lineup because he doesn't have ability to cover him. And, obviously Blair had 18 points in the big second half against us, and I thought that was really one of the differences. So Lamar came out yesterday aggressive, and it showed.
Has he turned a corner, do you think, in his career in terms of knowing when to be aggressive? I mean, he had this kind of passive stretches here and there, and you'd have to remind him to.
Yeah, I think that with Kobe coming out as aggressive as he was to score, he kind of just sat back a little bit on his heels, and that happens at times to players.
But in general, do you think he's played more aggressively the way you hoped he'd play all along?
I think he's very confident in what he can do out there on the floor, and he knows what his game is, and he's very comfortable, assessing the game. We always have to encourage him to be aggressive. He's doesn't portray himself as a scorer, as a player. He's not aggressive and hungry to score. He's hungry for team play, and he likes to make plays that help a team along, whether it's passing or rebounding or whatever. So he has to be reminded to be an aggressive scorer.
What does it do for you guys to have someone of Lamar's stature who's willing to go back to the bench?
Well, that's the difference in championship teams. And we said it 2 years ago and last year that the difference is that you have guys that you can bring off the bench that are starters. And in Lamar's case, maybe even an all-star. Ginobili has been doing it over the years with San Antonio. This year he is starting. But numbers of players are in that role in this league that make a difference in teams.
This past 2 seasons, or 3 seasons actually, where Lamar's great, whatever role is given him,
Right.
It's coming off the bench. So what's that done to him?
Great. I mean, obviously that helps a lot. You have a guy that with tremendous talent that is able to adapt to whatever need and circumstance the team has at a particular time. So he helps a lot, making everything work and gel.
Well, not just his versatility, but just like having that attitude.
Yeah, that attitude. Yeah, for sure. No, it takes a particular mindset, attitude from a player to be able to do that. Go from a starting lineup to the bench and still be very productive and understanding of why, and it's for the best of the team. So he does that extremely well.
Lamar's willingness to accept, whatever role that's given him, whether it's starting role or coming off the bench. What do you think that does for the team?
It gives us a different dynamic. Coming off the bench, I think he's more suited to play with the second unit and the up and down play. And then he can obviously dominate the basketball, which is something that he needs to do in order for us to be successful. So for him to be out there with the second unit is actually benefits the team. But either way, he's going to give you what he's got. He's just that kind of guy. If he's starting, he's going to go out and do what he needs to do.
Just that attitude that he has, do you feel like that helps rub off on the rest of the team, or something?
Yeah, you can't have anybody kind of being a bad apple, and nobody on our team actually is right now. Everybody's being really, really trying to gel, trying to be collective, play together, and we realize that when we do that, we win games. And when we go individual, we can't win. So everybody has to come with the attitude of accepting whatever role they get and playing hard.
Yesterday was Lamar's first game where he started on the bench. I mean, he was playing with the guys all season. What kind of foundation did that lay for yesterday?
It's easy. We definitely, not to boast, but we have to have the deepest bench in the league now. With an all-star coming off our bench, and he makes the game a lot easier for us because he can play every position out there. He knows the offense inside out, and he gets everybody else involved. So, as someone on the second unit, you couldn't ask for anything more.
Did you get a feel like when you look at yesterday's game that and the fact that he has played with you. Were there particular parts that stood out the most as far as what was easiest?
Just that we're going to be able to break more, because he gets a lot of rebounds and he pushes it himself, and for the first time, I think we had maybe 2 or 3 fast break layups for the first time in a while, you know what I mean? And he was involved, I think, in either 2 or 3 of those. So, it's just something that is going to be fun. Like I said, he's a very versatile player and he makes everyone else's job easier.